Right, welcome back to the Vengacast. Today I'm here with James
Hello.
and Pav.
Hi.
We're all football fans, and this week the Europa League and Champions League took place for the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final. Just basically planning out the route to it. So we're just going to make some predictions for both and sort of discuss what we think is going to happen. Is that okay with you?
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
sure.
Right, but to start off, I guess we'll talk about how you both got into football when you were younger. We'll start with you, Pav.
So, obviously, I'm from like a really small town in Poland where no one really played any other sport but football. So, growing up there, you literally just play football like in school, outside of school.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into it. Like, no one in my family really is massively into football, so I don't really have like an influence. But once I started playing it, I also started watching it, and then since then it become like a big part of my life. Like, it's all I do now, and
Yeah.
when you do get interested in football, it's just really hard to like not stick with it, not follow it.
Yeah, you enjoy the game.
Yeah, it's very, very addictive.
Yeah, and obviously you moved across to England from Poland when you were younger.
Yeah.
Did you notice like a big difference in football in England compared to Poland?
Yeah, it's much, much bigger here. Like, the quality of the league in Poland is like nowhere near as high as it is here. Like, the fans are still very passionate about the clubs, but
Yeah, definitely.
it's not quite up there with like the top European leagues yet.
Yeah, do you think it's getting there though?
I don't know. I think there is still like a big difference. Obviously, we've only got like 2 or 3 teams which playing
compete in
yeah,
Europe and
compete
things
for
like
the
that.
title. Yeah, I don't think we've had a team in the Champions League for like 3 years now. Last time was like but
Yeah,
obviously like they got bad every single game, so
yeah. I think
that wasn't
obviously
great for the
the main block is obviously the sort of financial. I don't know how Poland's
yeah.
going to overcome that, but hopefully they can.
It is quite hard to like attract big names
Yeah.
to play in that league just because
Yeah, I mean,
it isn't like
if you're not
big.
from Poland, it's not going to really have the appeal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right then, James, from different background, Scotland. How did you get into football?
Well, for me, it's just pretty much been everything I've always known, really. Dad's a massive football fan, so kind of got brought up just watching football and loving it, and there was really no other way, kind of thing. So just pretty much since I was born and stuck with it and love it, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you mentioned your dad liking football. He's from Brazil, isn't he? So obviously,
Yeah.
football's huge over there.
Yeah, so it's crazy, and the passion that and the love for football there is just on a different level. So that's kind of been put across to me and
Yeah,
keeping it going, kind of thing.
yeah. I think we all sort of saw that the 2014 World Cup. How passionate the fans are. It's literally everything over there.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's the same kind of passion for, like, the women's team gets the same attention there, and so does, for example, the Olympics. It's like the under 23s or whatever age it was.
Yeah,
like they treat it all the same.
yeah.
It's
I
also
think
important.
yeah, I think we could do like a whole podcast on like women's football, but I think that's definitely something you notice in other countries where it's so much bigger than it is in England. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's getting bigger here, but in countries like America, Brazil, it's huge.
Yeah.
Right,
I agree.
I think it's safe to say, obviously, both from Newcastle now, both living there, both Newcastle fans.
Yeah.
Right, I'll ask you about your first games. We'll start with you, James.
Okay, so my first one was back in 2007. It was against Bolton. We won 1-0. Michael Owen scored. I wish it could have been someone else.
Anyone else.
But I remember the goal. It was a header. Good win. And then I've had a season ticket ever since, so going on 11, 12 years. And go to a lot of away ones as well, and I love it.
Yeah. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. Just a basic game to go to. What about you, Pav? Obviously, you would have came across a bit later. What was your
Yeah.
first game like?
My first one was against Swansea in 2011. It finished 0-0, so it wasn't the most exciting game to watch, but
Very good.
the atmosphere was like really, really good, and that's how like I got attracted to the club, because it was around the time when Gary Speed died, so it wasn't like
Oh yeah,
a happy time, but still
Yeah.
like the support during the game was amazing, and it
Yeah,
just
I
shows
remember
how big of a club Newcastle is.
was that when we had the sort of I want to say like the sort of tifo up with the 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, just out of interest, my first game was a Europa League qualifier against Levadia Tallinn. We won 2-1, and Obafemi Martin scored both goals.
Hero.
What a guy.
Yep, miss over.
Yeah, great guy.
Right then, I guess we'll start off with the lesser competition, you could say, the Europa League. Did you watch the draw?
I did not,
I was busy
unfortunately.
That's fine. I'll take you through
some
it.
good games.
First draw that came out was Arsenal versus Napoli. What are your initial thoughts on that?
I think it's a great game. Both two of the stronger teams in the competition.
Yeah, definitely.
Both will definitely be wanting to win the whole thing, and I think it'll be very exciting actually, because they're both, as I said, they're both two of the top teams left in it.
Yeah. I mean, Pav, what do you think?
Yeah, probably is like the biggest game in the qualifiers.
I'd probably agree, yeah.
I think Napoli has been quite unlucky in European competitions in the last few years, because they always seem to do well, but then come up against a team which is just
A level
like
above.
too good for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this year's Europa League is like their chance to actually win some silverware in Europe.
Yeah.
With not many big teams being there now, it's really just like Arsenal, Chelsea, Benfica, as well as them. So
yeah, I mean, obviously we know Arsenal very well. We follow the Premier League, Newcastle. Arsenal sort of having a weird season. They're in the top four, but
it's
it
very
hasn't
on
been
and
the
off.
best of years.
Yeah, I think they're very kind of hit and miss. Some games they just against Man United recently, they just played a great game, and then there's sometimes where they're just disappointing.
Yeah, they just don't show.
Yeah, they've got the players to do well. Got a very good strike force as well. So, Arsenal will be fancying themselves, I think, in this competition as well. I think.
Yeah.
I'd say it's between the winner of the Napoli-Arsenal game and probably Chelsea as well for the whole thing. I'd say.
Well, yeah, they're on. I was going to just mention as well, they're on opposite sides of the draw for the semi-final, so they wouldn't face each other till the final, if that was the case.
Have an All-England final.
Yeah.
What were you going to say before, Pav?
I was just gonna say, I think this is like the best Arsenal team they had in like the last few years.
Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely
in terms of quality,
have to agree with that.
And I don't think Emery is a bad manager. I think if he is given some more time, he could like make Arsenal a team they want to win.
Well, Emery obviously won this competition 3 times in a row with Sevilla a few years ago. So if any manager left in the competition knows this competition, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he knows how to win it. So Arsenal did well to get through after a poor first leg against Rennes. So I think if they find the form that they should be playing at, I think they're one of the teams. Well, I think they're probably one of the strongest teams in it. So,
who do you think, if Arsenal are going to go through, who do you think has to be the sort of main man, like the game changer for them, and like across both legs?
I think definitely, like I said, that Aubameyang, like
the strike.
It is a really good partnership, which Arsenal haven't had in a while. Probably since Van Persie left, I haven't had that one like top striker. They obviously had Giroud, who was decent for them, but he's not quite on the same level as them two.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with that. So he says Aubameyang probably the main man for Arsenal. If he can get the goals or get the chances, he'll most likely score. And but also the defence has to be solid against a good Napoli team as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to put yourselves in Emery's shoes, because Arsenal's still in the race for top four at the minute, would you prioritise winning the Europa League or making top four?
I think by this stage of the Europa League, you really have to go for it. There's no point holding back. Man United look very strong though in the Premier League as well, fighting for top four as well, so it'll be close.
Yeah, it's going to be a close run.
Yeah, I don't think you can weaken your team at this stage of the competition. I think you have to go fully for it if you get this far.
Yeah, you see like big teams that are in the Europa League, such as Chelsea and Arsenal, who like do play with weaker teams in like the group stages round of 32. But then once you get to this stage and you do want to win it,
take it seriously.
You do have to like prioritise it. Like if you look at what Man U done when they were in it, they did prioritise it over the Prem, and it did end up paying off for them.
I think last year as well, Arsenal obviously made the semi-finals of this, but got knocked out by Atletico. And I think the case then was just they bumped into a team who was basically better than them. I think that was the only issue then, because I think they have such a better chance this year of winning it than they did last year.
Yeah, definitely.
The teams who are left in it, they can probably beat all of them on their day.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
They've proven this season they can beat Chelsea. I think Napoli's second in Serie A at the minute.
Yeah,
but they've only won one of their last 5 league games, so they're not in the best run at the minute. So is this probably a good time to play Napoli?
Probably, yeah. Like they did lose the second leg against who were they playing against?
Napoli.
They were playing Salzburg.
Yeah, Salzburg.
Yeah, Red Bull Salzburg. They did lose the second game, so
but
obviously they might not be better than Arsenal based on form, but they are still like a dangerous team going forward with the attacking players.
Yeah, so still quite a gap between the quarterfinals, and it's not till like the 10th of April, I think.
Yeah.
So they've still got a while to find their form again. And
so obviously, if Napoli are going to go through not having the best run of form at the minute, who are they going to need to step up on that team?
They do have Milik and Zieliński, who are like probably Poland's best 2 players at the minute, alongside like Lewandowski and Piontek. And I think them two on the day, they are really, really good. But then you also look at like Dries Mertens or Halion.
Yeah, they do have a good team.
Yeah,
it's solid. Yeah. I'd say they have no real stars, but it's all across the pitch. They have a good team.
Yeah, very balanced.
Especially like I'm a big fan of Koulibaly, the centre back. I think he's an absolute tank.
Yeah,
I agree. I think for Napoli the defence will be very important. Koulibaly and is it Koulibaly who plays with him? Or I don't know.
Raul
Albiol.
Yeah, I was going to say Raul Albiol. Played quite a bit this season, I think.
I think they'll be very important because Arsenal have a big attack and threat. If they can keep them out, then Napoli have enough players like Mertens and Milik and Callahan.
Maybe get them on the counter.
Score a lot. Well, they're very creative and skillful players as well who can win games for them.
Yeah. So if you had to say now who's going to win this game across 2 legs, who would you say?
I'm going to go Arsenal.
I do think Arsenal.
Both
not
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Why? What do you think is going to edge it for them?
I think they're. I just think overall their team is slightly better. Maybe. I think Arsenal
just that quality,
weak in defence, maybe, but going forward, I think they can score a lot of goals, and if they can keep Napoli's dangerous players quiet, then I think Arsenal could do it, but it'll be close.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, Emery's very experienced in the competition, and I think the last game against Rennes showed that kind of sums up their season, like losing 3-1, but then stepping up and still going through.
That has sort of been the main difference under Emery this season.
Yeah.
Sort of teams where they'd usually lose to, maybe sort of hide their face a bit, not step up. They have this season.
Yeah.
I know they under Wenger the last few years, they had a shocking record against the top six, but that's been much improved this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, moving on then. Spanish derby. Villarreal versus Valencia. This will probably be another very close one.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Two decent teams as well. Who know, obviously, because they're in the same league, know each other well. So
Yeah,
it'll be
I
an
think that's
interesting
going
one.
to be quite a big factor.
Yeah, but, be interesting to see how it goes because both decent teams in Spain.
What stands out for me in this match is Valencia are sitting in 7th at the minute, which, to be honest, is quite a poor season for them. But Villarreal are 17th. They're 1 point above the relegation zone at the minute.
Yeah,
They're having an awful season.
Yeah, so they've done well in this competition, but obviously, I think staying up is gonna. Well, they've got to do all they can to stay up, really, because it's no good winning this and then going down because.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Second division but Champions League.
Yeah, so. I think Valencia are in the better position, but I think in this competition, still going to be a very close game.
Yeah. Would you say Villarreal probably put out a weakened squad for this so that they can focus on the league, or do you think they still go for it?
It'll be interesting. I think they'll still go for it, but I don't know. It'll be an interesting one.
Yeah. What do you think, Pav?
I kind of think it shows like that the Spanish league is quite underrated.
Yeah, I've always thought that.
When you look at like Valencia and Villarreal, obviously they're not doing very well in the league, but they are in the Europa League quarterfinals. But I do think Valencia does have an advantage in this game, just because they don't have to like prioritise the league as much.
Yeah, they're sort of.
Obviously, they're in 7th. It is quite a comfortable space to be in. And if they do win the Europa League, then obviously Champions League is a big achievement for them.
Yeah, obviously they'll be sitting in 7th at the minute, thinking the Europa League is probably an easier route of making the Champions League now than the league table.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when you look at the teams that are doing well in La Liga.
Yeah, obviously. But Valencia actually struggled last round against probably a team that Pete would have expected them to sort of walk past in Krasnodar.
Yeah, and
they just beat them by a goal at home.
Yeah, and then Villarreal did very well against Zenit, didn't they?
Yeah,
Zenit. Yeah.
So they weren't a bad team at all. So
it's weird. It's like their league form and their Europa League form completely differentiate.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing with this.
I think both teams have really good squads based on like the quality of the players, especially Valencia with like Rodrigo and Garay up top. Sorry, Gamero up top. Yeah. So if you look at the squads, they probably do have one of the better ones in the competition.
Yeah.
It's just about the form.
I mean,
I'm trying to be more consistent.
Yeah, I mean, at the minute, obviously, this is sort of like an actual derby as well. Like, not just the Spanish derby, but obviously these two are quite close. So it's like the old saying, like, form goes out the window in a derby. Anything can happen. It could be the case for this match. It could literally go either way.
I think it will be. I don't think Valencia's league position will have anything to do with it. I don't think the gap in the league will show kind of when these two play, because I think it'll be very close.
Yeah.
And Villarreal could still easily win it. They've still got some, even though they're not doing well, they've got some good players like Bacca and Ibora.
Yeah. They signed Ibora from Leicester.
Zola.
Right then, who's winning this one for you two? James, we'll start with you.
I think it's a hard one. I think it could easily go either way. I'm gonna go Valencia in this one, but it could easily go to Villarreal, I think.
Yeah.
I just think Valencia have more to play for.
Yeah, if I had to bet on one of the games, I wouldn't bet on this one just because it's so close, but I do think Valencia will win it.
Yeah, just why do you think that? Just maybe that extra bit of quality, league form, prioritising the league for Villarreal maybe?
If you do look at the squads.
I think Valencia will be more interested in this competition, kind of, then
Yeah, put more towards it.
Villarreal, who've got a lot going on in the league that they need to sort out. So
Yeah, I guess the main thing for Villarreal is do you want to maybe risk getting relegated and risk getting Champions League, or do you want to be safe? Because I think if they're out of this competition, that squad's good enough to safely stay up in the Liga.
Yeah.
Right, next. A lot of people calling this one the Luka Jovic derby. Benfica versus Frankfurt.
yeah, again, two pretty good teams. Benfica are very experienced in this competition. They always seem to do very well, except winning it, really.
Yeah. They knocked us out and we win it, obviously.
Yeah, they seem to know how to pretty much, they seem to get to the semi or the final, literally.
It's weird.
So
it's like
many
the
times,
Portuguese teams just historically always just seem to know what to do in Europe.
Yeah, they beat, was it Zagreb pretty easily. Put them away 3-0 in the second leg. So I think Benfica are a good team, and same as Frankfurt, really. I think, it's another one like the previous game. That'll be very close. Frankfurt beat Inter Milan in the San Siro, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they look strong as well, and they're doing well in this competition. So another very interesting one.
Yeah, pal. I know you have. Do you have family members in Frankfurt?
Yeah, I got some family.
Are they
there,
Frankfurt fans?
Yeah, my cousin is a Frankfurt fan. Yeah, he's got a season ticket.
So obviously he'll know them well. How are they sort of doing in the league this season?
They're not doing bad, but they're not doing the league. I think that did surprise a lot of people when they did knock out Inter Milan, who are obviously still considered a European giant, and they do have a really good squad of players like Icardi and so on.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should underestimate them.
No, not at all. I think, I mentioned, Luka Jovic, obviously on loan from Benfica, but he's allowed to play in this game. He's been on fire in the Europe and the league this season. He's
what was I going to say?
He's third top scorer in the Europa League at the minute on 7 goals.
Yeah, it is a good player to have if you can score.
Yeah, and I know you were mentioning
in the Europa League, and
yeah,
they are 5th in the league as well, so it is a comfortable position for them. So they are having a good season overall.
Yeah, at the minute they've got a game in hand on Mönchengladbach, so assuming they win that, they'd be 1 point off Champions League. So I guess it's the question again of which route would they rather take to maybe get Champions League football.
Mm-hmm. I kind of think with Frankfurt, like, they could kind of go for both in a way, because I do think they will get Europa League anyway.
Yeah.
So I think, like, going for the Europa League title, as well as trying to stay consistent in the league, won't be that hard for them.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not as hard as it will be for Valencia or someone like that.
Yeah. But then again, you look at Benfica, who are, like, expected to win their league every year.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that well in Europe, considering, like, they have been reaching semi-finals and finals almost every year, but they obviously still haven't won it in a while.
Yeah, I mean, Benfica, like you were saying, pretty much always get to this stage. It's no surprise for them. And they're almost guaranteed Champions League because they always do so well in the league. They're sitting second at the minute. A game behind
Porto.
Very
close as well.
Yeah, they're a game behind Porto, but 3 points behind. So they could literally go top of the league if they win that game in hand. So yeah, it sort of makes you think, are they in a better position than Frankfurt to go for this?
I think the German league is, like, probably even more competitive than the Prem.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, like, think of Frankfurt, you only think of a big team, but obviously they are 5th in the league.
Yeah.
They are in the Europa League quarterfinals.
Yeah, that
So I do think in the next few years they could become one of the better teams in Germany.
Yeah, maybe compete.
And this season might be the start of that, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to say compete with Bayern or Dortmund, I guess. But
Dortmund, yeah.
I mean, we're saying that, but Leipzig, Schalke, they've showed in the last few years it can't be done. You can't get up there.
Yeah, it's a really fucking league, Bundesliga, because obviously Schalke was in the Champions League.
Schalke finished second last season. Look at them this year.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're 15th,
Yeah.
fighting relegation playoffs.
Yeah, obviously the same
And-
happened to Wolfsburg a few years ago. It's a weird league.
Yeah. And now you look at Wolfsburg and they are 7th in the league.
Yeah,
Also fighting for Europe, so
yeah, it's all messed up.
very
Right.
interesting though.
Yeah. So who do you think? I was saying Luka Jovic. Mention him again. Do you think he'll have more interest in this? Obviously, playing against his parent club. Do you think he'll have that extra sort of drive to score?
I
Prove
think
his
he
worth?
might do, yeah. You have seen that in the past, and I don't think he could be a key player in this game.
Yeah, he's got bags of potential for the future. He could be a definite
Yeah.
striker to look out for.
Yeah, and he'll be wanting to show himself
Oh
to
yeah,
Benfica
definitely.
as well, so that'll give extra motivation.
Yeah,
Especially
right.
also it's the
Who wins this
quarterfinal,
then?
isn't it?
Yeah, quarters.
I want to see Frankfurt.
Right,
I'm gonna
James.
go Benfica.
Oh, the first one we disagree. Right, Pav. Why Frankfurt?
I think there could be a dark horse this year, and I
Yeah.
think they could get to the final. They will most likely play Chelsea in the next round,
Yeah,
which could be difficult for them. But
Mhm.
obviously Chelsea are not having a great season themselves, so
I think no matter who goes through, they're going to have a hard game against Chelsea.
yeah.
James, why Benfica?
I just think the experience in this competition, they just know how to get far in the competition.
Yeah,
they always seem
just-
to lose it at the end, but
Well, they've got that
They-
curse, haven't
yeah,
they?
that's
I
what I was
can't remember
gonna mention.
like the
I think it's in like
details,
the
but they do have
60s.
some curse.
Yeah, it was that old club president, I think, that left and then said they'd never win one.
Yeah.
It's actually not happened. Like, they've made the final so many times and not won, so
Mhm.
but they always seem to make it to the final. So
So you're backing them to do it again.
I think, I think they've both got pretty decent squads. It'll be another close one.
Yep.
So it's
Definitely.
another hard one to call, and it could easily go either way. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna back Benfica based on their experience in this competition.
Right.
Mainly on that.
Finally, then, Chelsea at Slavia Prague. Sort of, I guess you can definitely say the underdogs of the competition this season, Slavia Prague.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think anyone knows how they've got here.
No, they somehow turned it around in extra time against
Sevilla, it was crazy.
So I can't really count them out at all in this. But Chelsea are obviously going to be the favourites. I'll probably do back Chelsea to win it, but you can never. After what happened against Sevilla, you can't count them out really.
Yeah, I mean, they've sort of shown. I guess it reminds me sort of. I mean, it's dissimilar, but I remember a few years ago in the FA Cup when Lincoln went on that insane run to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
They sort of proved along the way they can beat anyone, no matter how much bigger they are than them. I guess that's sort of the main mentality that Slavia Prague are going to have going into these games against Chelsea. They're going to have to do that.
Yeah. And maybe,
So,
yeah. Well,
if they are to beat Chelsea, how do they do that tactically?
I feel like Chelsea have been a different team in the Europa League than they have in the Premier League because they looked much more consistent in the Europa League. But then again, they haven't came up against like one really good team yet.
Yeah,
So they are like scoring for fun,
yeah,
as you seen in the last game. But
yeah.
I think this could be the first game where they are
competition.
challenged. Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea this season, they've got 25 goals. They're top of the attempts list with 180, top of the attempts on target list with 64. They've got a top scorer in Giroud. They're definitely the sort of attacking team of the competition that's left.
Yeah.
Willian's got 6 assists. I mean, they're pretty much top in all the sort of goal scoring charts this season,
yeah, although they,
which probably definitely worries Slavia Prague because I'd imagine they're going to have to play quite a defensive style to get out of this.
Yeah, I think then again they showed against Sevilla that they can actually score goals. Because they scored they scored 6 goals across 2
4 in the
legs.
second leg, yeah.
Yeah, and they scored 2 at Sevilla in the first one.
But then they also conceded 5 and coming up against Chelsea.
I think Chelsea was. I think can't make them out, but I think Chelsea will probably win quite comfortably in the end.
They probably do have the best squad in the competition.
Yeah, and with Chelsea's attacking threat, I think they'll just, unless Slavia go very defensive, I think Chelsea, like if they set up the same as Sevilla and try and attack as well, I think Chelsea will have too much for them to deal with.
Yeah, the first leg's obviously in Prague, and I know, Pav, you were mentioning before about that sort of reputation that Eastern European fans have. Do you think that'll play much of a sort of? How do you think that'll impact Chelsea going away there? Because I think it is very. I was going to say this season when Liverpool, for example, went to Belgrade, that really affected them.
I think it is very intimidating going to like those sort of countries to play European matches because the fans are just crazy for their teams, and
they'll die.
It could put the players off from the actual match.
And I guess you could say players like your Hazards, your Williams, your Girouds, they're not used to that. It's like a culture shock for them.
Yeah. So I think it could put off their best players during the match, but I think that home game will be key if Prague does want to go through.
Yeah, I definitely think if they can nick a result in that home draw and they go all out, park the bus times 10 for the second leg, that's probably the only way they get something out of this game or this tie.
Yeah,
but I'll ask you anyway, who do you have going through?
I think Chelsea still.
I think Chelsea will.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing for Chelsea is just making sure they don't. They go into the away leg prepared because
don't
you mentioned,
them.
Liverpool weren't ready, and they can get a result out of that. I think they'll win the second leg pretty comfortably. So it's just about making sure they don't get shocked away from home.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really hard to see Slavia getting anything out of this. So we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah.
Right then. So you've both had Arsenal and Valencia going through. If they meet each other in the semi-finals, how does that go?
I'm going Arsenal again. I think Arsenal are
Arsenal,
stronger.
Right. So why is that? Why do they top Valencia if that happens?
I just think Arsenal have the better team. I think Arsenal and Chelsea are the two strongest teams left in the competition, really.
Yeah.
Also, Emery has been at Sevilla for quite a few years, so he does know how to play against Spanish teams.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think tactically this could be a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue on the other hand, in Valencia's favour, though, what Pav was saying before, Spanish teams know what they're doing in these competitions. I mean, I think it's something stupid like, other than Man U, pretty much all the past winners of these competitions have been Spanish, the Champions League and the Europa Leagues. It's always been your Madrid, your Barças, your Atleticos, your Sevillas. So could Valencia be the ones to take the Europa League throne this year? Who knows?
Yeah, possibly.
I don't think Arsenal can underestimate them.
Oh, no, definitely not. But I think one could easily go either way, especially in the semi-final.
Yeah,
I think Arsenal have more quality, I think. So I think they'll edge it.
I mean, obviously both in similar league positions at the minute, both fighting for top 4. They could both view this as a route to the Champions League.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Right, so for Benfica, Frankfurt, you both had different. Obviously, you both had Chelsea going through. So I'll start with Pav. What happens in a Frankfurt versus Chelsea semi-final?
I think this really could go either way because it will be the best team they face.
Yeah.
So far this season in the Europa League, and we have seen German teams surprise us in Europe a lot, especially teams that are not the biggest teams in Germany, such as Bayern and Dortmund.
Yeah, the one that stands out for me is I remember a few years ago, Lewandowski getting a hat-trick against Real Madrid to get to the final.
Yeah. Was 4, wasn't it, actually? 4 goals. I think it was.
Oh, yeah, 4 goals in the game.
Yeah, great player. Yeah, I think Frankfurt would have a really good chance against Chelsea since they have been so on and off this season. But then they do have the best quality team by a mile. Well, maybe not by a mile, but they do have the best quality team in the Europa League.
I think what stands out for me with Chelsea as well is, like you were saying, they haven't really played any good teams yet. And I've noticed, especially in the Premier League, I think that Chelsea defence is so... If you get good strikers and really put pressure on them, you can't beat them.
Yeah, if you look like
for sure.
Aspilicueta, someone who has been one of Chelsea's key players in the last few years, he's
I'm
been
thinking
pretty shaky this
David
season.
Luiz, Marcus Alonso, all them, they're not really the best. This season they haven't been anyway.
Yeah, I think Rudiger might be their only centre back.
Yeah, Rudiger's been
defender
good.
in general who has been fairly consistent this season.
Yeah, Rudiger himself, obviously German. He'd know Frankfurt pretty well.
So, but then you look at Chelsea's team and they do have a lot of players who can win the game by themselves, such as Hazard, Willian, Pedro, and so on.
Yeah, them stars.
So, even if they're not having the best game as a team, I think they still would progress through.
Right. And then James, you would have had Benfica versus Chelsea. Does that go any different to what Pav was saying, or pretty similar?
I'd go Chelsea to win. I think Chelsea have to go all out in this competition because I don't think they're making top 4 in the Premier League. And I think they've got we all know they've got a very strong squad. So I think they'll edge it in this one. I think with Chelsea, even though they've not played the best team so far, they've won really easily and by a lot.
If this was to happen, it would be a repeat of. I remember the year we went. This was the final. Do you think Benfica look at this and think, let's get revenge?
Possibly, but.
Or do they not let that in their heads really affect them?
I don't think they should look back at that. I think it's more just the motivation of getting to the final.
Yeah.
In this game, and I think Chelsea need to do well in this competition, especially the manager.
I think Sarri still hasn't won a trophy in his managerial career, which is so surprising in my opinion.
Yeah, so I think Chelsea will go all out in this. They've got a very strong team. Got players who turn up in Europe. Giroud did very well in the last game. Willian's been doing well. Hazard
Giroud's sort of been the main man for Chelsea in this.
Yeah, so I think Chelsea will definitely turn it on in this, and I could see them winning quite comfortably, to be honest, in this one.
I know you were saying before about the curse. How much do you think that actually plays on the Benfica players' minds when they play in competitions like this and get to the stage like the semi-final?
Another one go on.
You go, Pav.
Obviously the players want a bit of that, but it probably is in the back of the mind all the time because they would want to change this and become like the generation that does break it.
Yeah.
But it probably does play a part still. And
I mean,
the manager knows that, the players know that.
Yeah, they're getting constantly reminded of it as well, that this curse is still looming over them. They need to break it eventually. That pressure is constantly on them. Does that play a part in sort of damaging them?
Yeah, I think pressure does play a big part in football matches, and even top players are affected by that.
Yeah.
In the big games.
Yeah, I think. James, you go ahead.
It's also because they've made it to finals and this far so many times in the previous few years, decade or whatever. I think just the previous experiences of they're just wondering what's going wrong really. Because they've had some good. They've done very well in this competition, obviously.
But just can't get over the line.
Yeah, they seem to take it to the end and just not get over the line. So they're probably just wondering how they can actually do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have them missing out again. Chelsea advancing. You
yeah.
both have a Chelsea Arsenal All English final.
Yeah.
How does that match play out?
I think it could easily go either way.
Yeah, I think Chelsea Arsenal are like one of the closest games you do get in England. Chelsea have been really good like 2-3 years ago against Arsenal, but last 2 years
that's all
Arsenal
changed,
showed
hasn't
that they can't beat Chelsea.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm actually gonna go Arsenal to win it all, but I just have a feeling. But it's very hard to call because I think Chelsea might need it more because depending on Arsenal's league position, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I think once you're in the final, you both go for it just as much, really. Just have a feeling Arsenal might do it. But again, there's nothing in it, really.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really mention that before, but in my opinion, Arsenal's in such a better position league-wise to make Champions League rather than Chelsea. So I think this is, in my opinion, the best route for Chelsea to make Champions League next season.
Yeah. But once it's at the final, I don't think Arsenal will fully go for it as well. So
they both know each other so well as well at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of the Premier League's biggest fixtures, London derby, always so close, class players from both teams, so much history. I think this will be a final that everyone would love to see.
Yeah, definitely. And it's such a hard one to call. I'm only going based on feeling, really.
Yeah, I think it'll be massive for English football as well. Because obviously now you've got 4 English teams in the quarterfinals, which is haven't seen in ages. Yeah, like
six
4 in the Champions League, and then
1971, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's massive. Just because,
which is, when you think about that, it's crazy.
I think Spain has been like well known for having lots of teams in like these stages of European competitions, but it is really nice to see English teams doing well, even if it's like not Newcastle, obviously.
Yeah, and English teams have had like the reputation of being really bad in these competitions in the last decade, pretty much, except obviously Liverpool and City went quite far last year, and now it's definitely good for English football that there's so many teams still left in these competitions, and even though I don't really like many of the teams, English teams, I kind of want them to do well.
Yeah,
just for the English game.
It's good for the league, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's good for the FA. It's good for the national team to show that our players are stepping up against the best in the world. I think it's just good in general.
It's very good for it's good for the national team as well because it's still quite.
I mean, obviously you're a big England fan, so I know you're a big Harry Kane fan. Players like that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Obviously, no, but even though I hate to say it, it definitely goes well for the England team, who look very good for the future, because there's still a lot of young and good England players playing for these, like for Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, some for Man U, and also all the teams really. And this definitely helps them gain experience against kind of European
top
sides.
opposition.
So I always thought a lack of experience in Europe and these kind of international competitions, how they affected the national team. So I just think more experience in Europe helps. And it's good to see all these teams actually using English players as well, because
definitely.
there's already so many kind of foreign players in these good British teams. But it'll be good to see an All-England final, and then it could also happen in the Champions League as well.
Yeah, I guess it's all like battle hardening them, isn't it? So when we do go into these sort of competitions, like the national competitions in the future, they'd be used to facing these players. You Cristiano Ronaldo, it's players like that.
Yeah.
Right. But, if you had to stick your neck out on the line, then who wins that final between Arsenal and Chelsea?
Arsenal.
I think I want Chelsea to win it, but I think Arsenal might, just because of how inconsistent Chelsea has been against the top 6.
So you both think Arsenal?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But-
How do they win it? Like, how does that game play out on the pitch?
I could
I
see
think it's
Arsenal
going to be
getting.
very close, but I think Arsenal will take their chances through Aubameyang.
Yeah, I
he'll
think
be
Arsenal
say-
could get an early goal, which would change the
Yeah.
game. Just because head to drop.
Yeah, I'll say if you had to make a score prediction, what would it be?
I think 1-0 Arsenal. 1-0, 2-0.
2-0 Arsenal.
All right.
I don't know why. I just have a
1-0.
feeling.
Out of interest, if I was going to predict this, I'd probably have a Chelsea-Valencia final. I think Chelsea win the final 2-0.
Interesting.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think Arsenal bottle the semi.
fair enough. Yeah, but I think whatever final it'll be very interesting. And I
Yeah.
still think there's probably pretty much every team left in it, maybe except Slavia.
I think
can win
I think the best thing that they've ever done to the Europa League is make it so that when you win it, you make the Champions League, because that's just
Yeah.
made teams so much more interested in winning it. And it's the strength of it's got so much better. People actually care about winning the Europa League now.
Yeah, you see, like,
It's seen as a route to get to the Champions League.
yeah. Tottenham used to get it like every single season a few years ago.
Is that a
and
dig?
yeah. Obviously, Tottenham was on the Europa League all the time a few seasons ago, and they would never like really go for
No,
it
they
in
will
that
be next year.
competition. Yeah, most likely. And I do think, yeah, what you said, having the Champions League qualification as well as the trophy does motivate the teams more.
Right, moving on to the big one now then. The Champions League.
Championship.
Yeah, you've got your Liam Kellys, all the top players like that.
Can't have it.
Right, in the Champions League then. Ajax, Juventus. Ajax probably the weakest team left. Them or Porto, it's pretty safe to say. But they beat the holders, so fair play to them. Who wins this and why?
I think if I could pick two teams which I kind of want to win the Champions League, it would definitely be Ajax. Would definitely be one of them, just because they are considered a European giant, and if you look at the last few years, they've always been like a silent team. They never had a really, really good team which would challenge for winning the Champions League. But now
not since like the 90s.
Yeah, they always have like Delight, De Jong, all the really good players, and I think they definitely are a dark horse, and I don't think you should underestimate them.
Yeah, I mean,
You see it with Madrid.
I was going to say, do you think it's safe to say Madrid underestimated them? Obviously,
Yeah, I
Ramos
think
got
so.
sent off on
Yeah,
purpose,
exactly.
and I bet he's regretting that.
Yeah, they did win a away game, and probably thought
Yeah, they thought it
they're
was
just
game
going to
over.
come to Madrid and defend the lead, but obviously it's got 4 goals
Ajax had
embarrassed
other ideas,
Madrid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play for them. I think that they'll be everyone's sort of team that they want to win.
Yeah, I would love to
agree
see
with
them
what
win
you
it.
said. I think everyone who's a neutral will be back in Ajax for this.
Yeah, well, the only thing I think, there's that obviously. I think Ajax could easily win this game as well, because what they did at the Bernabeu is just crazy, and they've got so many young quality players who can, I think, win a game for them and will want to turn up in this competition like they did against Real Madrid. So if Ajax's defence can stop Ronaldo, really, I could see them going through again. But obviously there's Ronaldo who knows how to do well in this competition.
I mean, I guess it comes down to how both teams show up, because if that Juventus versus Atletico first leg, Juventus team shows up against the Ajax team from the second leg, then that match only goes one way, in my opinion. But that's not how it works.
I think Atletico are a good team, and Juventus wasn't really a big shock, but when they did turn it around, it was fairly impressive from them.
Yeah.
I just think Ajax and Atletico are two like completely different teams, so
yeah, definitely.
I think the Ajax players, because of their age and the fact that they just want to show themselves, really. They're very they've got so many exciting players like De Jong. Tadic showed last game. Well, he's not very young, but he's how good he was against Real Madrid. They've definitely got the quality, I think.
It's a weird one with Tadic. What do you think happened to him at Southampton?
I just don't think it was this
Maybe he
league.
didn't have the expression, like the freedom to express himself. Really, I think
Maybe.
you could always see that he had the quality.
Yeah, he probably was Southampton's best player over the years.
Because he performed for Serbia all the time. It's maybe just, I don't know, maybe the quickness of the Premier League. He doesn't have the time on the ball. Like maybe he can get at Ajax, but I don't know. He just seems to be able to express himself more at Ajax than he did at Southampton.
Yeah, I also think at Ajax, he's like sort of the main playmaker. They sort of get the ball to him and they ask him to go and make something. Whereas I think at Southampton, they maybe didn't give him that attention. He's just sort of a good player and a good squad.
I think confidence plays so much part in it because he looked low on confidence at Southampton, whereas he seems like he's got all the confidence at Ajax.
Well, ultimately, he's went from fighting for relegation to competing in the Champions League and fighting for a league title.
Yeah, so
it can only be good for you mentally.
Yeah, well,
on the other side, Juventus, obviously you've got Ronaldo there, but other than Ronaldo, who do you think is the key man for Juventus?
Could be a few
sort of
people,
the unsung hero.
Obviously, have a lot of big names like Dybala, Chiellini, Szczesny, all the really good players, but it is a very well balanced team as well. I don't think they have like one position where they're not.
I was going to say, yeah.
I think
obviously famous for that sort of defensive style.
I think in the Atletico game, obviously Ronaldo got a hat-trick, but I think Bernardeschi was a really good player in that game as well.
Oh yeah, he was great, I thought.
Yeah, and he's sort of not even like a starter.
I thought he ran the game pretty much, although Ronaldo scored the goals. Just in midfield and attack, he was pretty much doing everything.
Yeah,
on the ball. But I think someone that Ajax also need to watch out is Mandzukic. He always seems to turn up in big games, as well as he's just a very useful player for Juventus. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so he can score goals, and he's also very useful and a nuisance to the opposition, so I wouldn't rule him out of being one of the main players for Juventus.
Yeah, Juventus haven't won the Champions League since 1996, which, when you look at the squads that they've had recently, is quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe there's a bit of pressure on them? Like, they've got Ronaldo now. This is the year where you have to win it. Like, go big.
Yeah,
obviously
go on. You go, Pav.
Right, that's my land. Go
on. I think as long as you keep... I think if Ronaldo's kept quiet, really, Ajax would definitely fancy themselves. It's just about if Ronaldo gets his opportunity, especially in the Champions League, he's putting away pretty much everything. He's such a threat in this. And he just always seems to be able to pull it off in the Champions League.
Yeah, so he's sort of the poster boy for the Champions League.
Yeah, and he's shown the difference it's made to Real Madrid in the competition. Because Real Madrid haven't been just got put aside by Ajax in that second leg.
Yeah, they sort of missed his leadership.
Yeah, whereas previous years, even when they weren't challenging for the La Liga pretty much because Barcelona were running away with it, they would still turn it up in the Champions. Real Madrid would turn it up in the Champions League and just look unbeatable, really.
Yeah.
I think Ronaldo's kind of that main part of that.
Yeah, if you are... go ahead.
I think it's even his best chance this season to win a Champions League with Bayern, Madrid, Atletico, all the big teams being already out.
Yeah.
So I think if they win it this year, they will still struggle for another couple of years to even get to the final.
Yeah, maybe. I guess, like you said, it all depends how the draw sort of plans out for you. On the other hand, for Ajax, do you think Ajax approach this game sort of accepting that they're the underdogs and maybe sit back a bit, try and get on the counter, or do they play their normal game?
No, I think they'll play their normal game. Even when they were winning the game against Real Madrid, they were still going for more goals.
Yeah.
And they've got so many players that want to attack, kind of thing, and want to express themselves. I think they won't
even when
sit
they
back
lost
on.
that first leg, they were sort of going for it, weren't they?
Yeah, but I think they need to watch Ronaldo mainly, and obviously they've got other attackers as well. But I can see them still wanting to go forward with the ball and carry the ball.
Yeah, I mean, a matchup I'm looking forward to seeing this match is obviously you've got Delay at the back, who I think is he 18 now?
19.
19.
Yeah, still mental.
Against Ronaldo.
Yeah.
You know, this is the biggest challenge of his career so far, I think you can say.
Yeah, definitely.
How does he cope?
I think he's shown, I think he's very good, but that's the thing. He's not very experienced. That's the only problem in this.
Yeah, but none of this Ajax team really are. But
they do have
4-1 in the Bernabeu.
They do have Daily Blend, who is more experienced, who's won it Europa before, obviously, but I don't think he's got nowhere near enough quality to stop a player like Ronaldo from winning the game for Juve.
But then someone like De Ligt might see this as his opportunity to step up against someone like Ronaldo, and they might live up to the. Well, they might show up against someone like Ronaldo because of the occasion, and that can sometimes bring the best out of someone.
Yeah, I know it sounds harsh, but I think the case for most of this Ajax team is they're sort of playing to get moves away to bigger European teams.
Yeah.
Someone like De Jong just went to Barcelona in January. He's going there next season.
I see De Ligt.
Do you think maybe he looks at this and goes? Do you think maybe he looks at this and goes, if I have a good game here or a good tie, then I've sort of guaranteed my move next year?
Possibly, yeah. I don't think they'll be focused on that. I think they'll want to win the game for their team. Because
so you don't think they'll be thinking about their own game, just Ajax?
Well, I think they know that's probably the end goal, because if they make it De Jong's obviously very good, so he's not going to stay in that league because it's not really as good as competitive
major league.
So I think they all know that's all the young players probably know that's the kind of end game, but I think Ajax is still a Champions League team, and I think they'll just playing for the team, and it'll come eventually if they're moving away. But I don't think they're just going to be selfish to kind of play for themselves in this, especially in this stage of the competition.
Yeah.
Obviously, if not for Ajax, none of them players would had the chance to play in the Champions League quarterfinals. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, Ajax is still a legendary team as well. I mean, Ajax won this. Ajax won this in 1995, which is a year before Juve last won it.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're looking at it from that perspective, they're not that far apart in terms of Champions League quality.
Yeah, so I think the only reason players would leave, the only reason players leave is because of the competition of the league, probably. Even though PSV have done well in it recently, and Feyenoord are also good. I just think, especially attention-wise, it's nowhere near as big as, for example, La Liga or the Premier League or the German League. But so many great young players come out of it, out of Ajax and other teams there.
Yeah, that academy is ridiculous. You could argue the best in the world.
I think it's possibly the place to go, because they also.
I think it's between La Masia, at Barca and Mets, probably.
I think Ajax obviously also give you the opportunity, the amount of young players they use when they get rid of one of their stars. They don't normally go to the transfer window to back it up. Really, they use their academy as much as possible.
That's why I think that the talent signing surprised me quite a bit because of that. I thought they would have maybe brought someone else in to give a chance from the academy, but they sort of went, look, we're going to spend 12 million on him because we really see something in him, and it's turned out to be a good move.
Yeah,
so maybe should they change their sort of transfer policy in the future based off of the talent signing, or stick to what they're doing?
I think they should still look for players like Tadic in the transfer window, but I think they should keep to their ways, because it's
sort of a combo.
So, and I think the mix between experience and youth is very important. Like having Blind there, and also Tadic.
Sort of like a manager on the pitch type.
Yeah. So, and I think that's definitely a good mix.
Yeah. Right then. Who wins this?
I want Ajax to win, but obviously Juventus are
Your
very.
heart says Ajax.
I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say Ajax are winning this game.
Ooh.
I think Juve will win it, but I would love Ajax to go through, yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone's heart's going to be Ajax, but I think everyone's head's definitely going to be Juventus for this.
Except mine.
Except yours.
I'm going with my heart on this one. I want
Fair
to see
enough,
them
fair
win.
enough.
I want to see them win that much that I'm just going to say they're going to win because
Next is a sort of similar one where I think a lot of people will think Liverpool have already won this against Porto. But will that be the case?
I think Porto's like one of them teams who always do well in their league, and they are a big team, but when it does come to Champions League, they just haven't got the quality and the players to compete with the other European teams. But obviously, if they won the Champions League with Mourinho in 2003, was it? 2002?
2004.
2004, yeah. So I do think Liverpool will go through, and they do have a much better team than Porto, but I wouldn't be that surprised to see Porto go through.
Yeah, I don't think it would surprise me that much either. Not as much. I think a lot of people are massively underestimating Porto from the stuff you read on Twitter and things like that.
Yeah.
I think Porto haven't just walked here accidentally. They are a good team. They have some really good players, some top talent. I'm a big fan of Alex Telles at left back.
Yeah.
They've got Abubakar up front. He scores goals. They've got Marega. He also scores plenty of goals. Marega's actually got 6 this season, which is joint second. So that's he's someone that Liverpool's defence is going to have to look out for. Maybe get Van Dijk on him.
Obviously, Porto have Pepe at the back as well, who is experienced in the competition, has won it plenty of times in Madrid.
Yeah, they've obviously got Casillas as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's won it plenty.
I don't think Liverpool need to make sure they don't underestimate it. I think Liverpool will be seen as massive favourites in the game, but I do think Liverpool will win, but it could. It's like Ajax, you can't underestimate them. They've got quality. But it'll be interesting to see.
I also think with Porto, a lot of people are sort of not giving them a chance because these two met each other last season at the earlier stage and Liverpool absolutely blew them out the water. But I don't think that's going to be a repeat.
Yeah, you see people...
you go on.
I was going to say, you see people saying that Liverpool got a lucky draw, but at this stage it isn't really a lucky team to get because everyone has earned their players and they will fight for it. So
I've also noticed in the Champions League every year you sort of get that one team who no one expects to make the semis, but they always find a way. Like last year it was Roma, the year before it was Monaco. This year Ajax or Porto do it and get there.
Yeah, I'm saying Ajax will. But maybe they both might.
Well, I think everyone would love to see that. The chances of it happening are slightly different now.
No, I doubt it. I think Liverpool just have, obviously, they've got the quality. They pulled it out against Bayern Munich away at the Allianz Arena, which is very impressive. So I think Liverpool will win this one, but they can't underestimate Porto.
If Liverpool is to win the Champions League this year, who do you think plays the more part for them, Salah or Van Dijk?
I think Mane.
Mane, oh,
Mane,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Mane.
Right, why Mane?
I just think he has been their best player this season because
in general
Salah
or in
is
the Champions League?
In general, I would say
best attacker. I think he's been the best attacking player.
In the Prem, yeah. Salah's not having that good of a season, and I know Van Dijk does get a lot of credit. I don't think he is world class, but they do have a decent defence this year overall with Andrew Robertson, Alexander Arnold. So I just think Van Dijk gets a bit too much credit.
Ooh,
it's not just him that keeps Liverpool in games.
Yeah.
No, I think Liverpool have a better, rounded team than they did last year.
Yeah.
I think they're in a better position to go.
Do you think if Liverpool had this squad and they played in the final last season, do you think they'd have won?
I probably
think
not,
so,
because
yeah.
Real Madrid always find a way. But
True.
I think Liverpool, the way they were playing last year, just seemed like they were actually going to do it somehow. But I think that final, Real Madrid just know how to win that game.
Another thing that's quite important in this is how much do you think the title race plays in Liverpool's minds in this Champions League run? What do they prioritise?
I think for a top team in the Premier League, they have to be able to prioritise both, as in be ready for both and put out strong teams.
You see Man City doing it, so
yeah,
Liverpool shouldn't.
Man City are also in it as well, so I think Man City are going to...
well, we're not on the Man
league,
City
so,
yet.
Obviously, like, Liverpool hasn't won the Premier League, the actual Premier League yet. And it has been about like 27 years, 28 years.
Yeah.
If not more. And
I know it's a weird one because it's sort of, if you ask the Liverpool fan, they'd say we want to win the Premier League. If you ask a City fan, they say we just want to win the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly. It's just...
Yeah.
Obviously, City hasn't won Champions League, Liverpool have. City's won the Premier League, Liverpool hasn't, so...
I still think there's a few games before the next Champions League game, so it'll be interesting to see if Liverpool can stay on the back of City in the league as well.
Yeah, because by then there could be maybe a gap opening up.
Yeah, which I don't see City really losing very much till the end of the season, so it just depends.
I think Manchester City's actually only lost once this season. I'm not sure if you could tell us who that was to. Once this year, actually.
Yeah, and they've been thrashing teams left, right and centre, but when it comes up against big
who
Solomon...
did they beat this year?
I'm trying to remember.
Who did they lose to?
I'm trying to remember.
What's
the back of my head?
2-1, wasn't it?
Scottish guy scored a winner.
I think some Sean
Ryan
Fraser
Fraser
absolutely rinsed everyone, but I can't remember.
Was it Newcastle?
I think
a few months ago, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I just remember Scottish players are just
Wenger
too
would
big
beat
for
them
them.
as well, but we don't get a chance.
I just think...
Lewis Courtney's better than Aguero, let's be honest.
Yeah, no.
Can't deny that.
Well, I think...
you better be listening to this, Lewis. I'll give you a compliment there.
I think what will depend the title race will be Andy Robertson.
God's sake. Really? The whole title race sits on Andy Robertson's shoulders.
I think it's overrated.
The only guy to put away City this season has been Scottish, so it's going to happen again.
Well, right then. Who wins? Liverpool or Porto?
Liverpool.
Does Andy Robertson decide the tie? Who knows?
Hat-trick, yeah.
Adam Lallana.
Lallana decides the tie.
I think Joe Matip.
Okay, right.
Is Clavan still there?
No. Right. So I think it's safe. Do you both think Liverpool's going to win?
Yeah, I think they'll win conference.
Pretty easily as well.
I think they will. Yeah. Even though Porto are a good team.
Yeah. Next is there was 4 English teams in the quarters, so the chances were there was going to be an all-English tie, and we've got it in Tottenham versus Man City. And the first tie, quite interestingly, is in Tottenham's new stadium.
I think City's got to absolutely batter them.
Oh, okay. You don't think Tottenham have a chance at all?
I think they are going to get absolutely embarrassed by City.
Do you not think the new stadium maybe?
I think that's going to make it even worse for them, to be fair, because there's so much pressure on them now. Obviously, all the fans have been waiting all season to play there. I'll watch a match there.
But do you not think there's more pressure on Man City to win the Champions League than there is Tottenham? Because I definitely...
Yeah, but I think Tottenham aren't... I think they're pretty much guaranteed Champions League for next year, but aren't going to fight for the title, so...
Do you think Tottenham's guaranteed Champions League?
I think they will. I think they're strong enough.
I think we could do a whole of a podcast on how we think the Premier League's going to end.
I think we
should. I actually think Tottenham's going to drop out the top 4 this season.
I think they'll stay. I think they've got...
so, in my opinion, I think the Champions League is the best way for them to make it next year.
Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't mean guaranteed. I just thought they were going to make it.
And where are they at the minute? Are they still third?
I think
they
are third, yeah. They are third.
But have you seen the fixtures that they've got coming up?
Yeah, but
Like, they have City
they
three
do like
times
to
in the
turn.
space of 11 days.
Like I said, we'll have to do a whole other podcast on
Yeah.
that, but it's pretty tough for Tottenham in the league coming up.
Yeah. There's only 1 point in it between fourth, but and they've been in bad form. So and they don't. The problem with Tottenham is they don't have the squad depth to be like
Yeah,
other
they
teams
don't
doing.
sign.
This.
I guess that's the issue with Spurs. How are they? They're such a good team, but they don't spend money. So does Pochettino maybe deserve more credit than what he gets, or does he already get that sort of credit?
I think he deserves more. Well,
Yeah.
he deserves the credit he gets. He gets a lot because he gets very little given to him. He's got a lot of.
Do you think maybe if
He gets the
say
best
if
out
Real
of others as
Madrid,
well.
say if Real Madrid come in for him in the summer, do you think in his mind it's a no-brainer that he leaves, or do you think maybe he stays at Tottenham?
Be a hard one because
Yeah.
obviously Real Madrid are like giants of the game, but
It is tempting, yeah. Even Rafa went there.
yeah, but Rafa's too big for them.
Rafa was too good for them. I think.
But
Went to another team. Can't remember who it is.
it's next.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
With the
Burton, I think. I'm not sure.
with the new with the new stadium, it's an exciting time for Tottenham as well.
Yeah, except it's fallen apart already. I don't know if you've seen that video.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, where it was like flooding or something.
Yeah, it was flooding already. Literally day one.
Have you seen the
Not a
price
good
of it?
start.
Looks mint.
Yeah, that does look good.
They probably won't be playing in this season after all. Nah, but it looks an unreal stadium. Just if he keeps going without getting the investment, it'll be a hard one for him.
Yeah.
So,
Why do you think he's still there now? Because it's not like this is a new thing where they haven't been investing. This has been happening for the last few transfer windows. So what do you think Daniel Levy is saying to him to convince him, like, stay at Tottenham?
I think Pochettino just loves the team, really. Probably because he's had the same players for so long. He's got a real connection with them. He's probably got a connection with the fans.
Grown with them.
Yeah, and it's probably similar to like Rafa at Newcastle. Doesn't staying through kind of love with the team more than
for the owner.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, obviously, Pochettino made Tottenham like into a respectable team now. They did compete for the Premier League in the last few years, and I don't think he wants to leave until he actually proves and wins something.
Yeah, he sort of seems like that. I think you've got to respect him for that. He sort of wants to prove a point for the Spurs fans. You know, it's not even just for his own doing that. He wants to prove he can win a title. He wants to prove that Spurs can win a title. I mean, they've come so close so many times as well, especially in domestic cups in the last few years.
I think they've definitely got the quality in the team to win stuff, but they need more backup as well.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
King got injured.
that squad depth
Ali
just
got
isn't
injured.
I don't think a team at
rest.
Tottenham's level should really have Fernando Llorente as the backup striker.
Yeah, definitely. And
I think Musa Sissoko could be a key player in this game as well.
Okay, but you just hit the neck now.
well, he does love to turn up on big occasions because that's all he cares about.
Oh, actually, there will be.
He'll be on TV, to be fair.
Probably will show.
You know, he'll try a bit harder.
Not being salty.
Yeah, maybe do a little jog for the camera again when he's training at the side. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right, so Man City on the other hand. In my opinion, there is no team left who has more pressure on them to win it this season than them.
Possibly, yeah. I think because they've shown so much in the domestic competitions that
they've won everything else except the Champions
and
League.
they need to do it. They went out poorly last year, I thought, to Liverpool. They didn't show enough in those games. Liverpool kind of blew them away, but they need to give their fans something in Europe because they're just for the team they've got. They've just been very disappointing in the competition. They've got the squad depth, I think, to carry on doing what they're doing in the league. I think they'll run away with the league probably. And they also want to create history with their quadruple as well, which there's still a possibility, and I think quite likely actually. If they, depending on the Champions League, I think they can do the domestic. I think they can win the domestic treble.
they're clear favourites in my opinion for the FA Cup now. When you see who's left.
Yeah. I think they got a shot last night, but they managed to turn it around.
I would have
Lost
loved
the
it if
fiver.
it went out last night, because that would have been one hell of a FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had Swansea, Wolves,
Yeah.
either Brighton or Millwall, and Watford left, that would have been
crazy.
very interesting.
Yeah. Also, like, wrecked me for like 30 quid, but you know. Yeah, but I think definitely favourites in the FA Cup. But like looking at the other teams, in it, who have they got in the well,
they won the League Cup,
obviously
obviously.
they've already won the League Cup, and it's
1-0.
and I think they're one away with the title, so it's all about the Champions League for them for the quadruple. I think, and I think they've got the squad to do it.
I think on that day they are the best team in Europe, in the world by a mile.
Oh yeah, if they turn up, I think they're
So,
unbelievable. But it depends if they can.
I guess the underlying question that's on everyone's minds is, if Man City win the Champions League, does that mean Newcastle are the best team in Europe?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they already are, to be fair.
Yeah,
I
quite
think-
easily in my opinion.
Well, with the investment of Man City, if Newcastle had that, would be probably have to too many trophies to fit in Newcastle, because
Yeah,
it's quadruples every year.
of course. Year after year.
Yeah, kind of FIFA stuff.
I think
I've
Vengacast
actually
up there
heard
as well. Isn't it?
Reading FC.
I've actually heard that
stuff.
Messi enjoys skint as well. Supposedly every off-season he comes for a few weeks.
Both
He's a big
clubs.
fan.
Bit house,
Yeah. Just like Pav, Paul and the Purdue, the Pavel Klokka story. That'll have to be a podcast that we do soon.
Definitely.
But yeah, back to the match then. Tottenham City, who wins?
City's,
You both made it pretty clear.
City's going to batter them.
Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Seriously. I think on aggregate, City will win by 5 goals.
I don't think.
Same as
I
now.
think Tottenham have a better chance than what yous are making.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
Tottenham's
actually
out
think
this
Tottenham
already.
could easily
Nah,
win.
they're gonna get
I'm
battered.
actually torn in this
Well-
one. I think City might do it, but I generally think Tottenham can easily, not easily, but can also win this.
I actually think Tottenham win the home leg in this, but I think City absolutely blow them away in the leg at City.
Yeah,
I think the bar with them in both games.
Okay. Clearly not. I hope no Tottenham fans are listening. I'm trying to defend you, but
Send us to Statman Dave.
Yeah.
last up, Man U, Barca. Probably the two biggest
Most
names
hyped up
left
game, yeah.
coming up against each other.
Barca.
But yeah.
Why?
1-0.
I kind of feel like Man U, another new manager whose name I can't really pronounce properly. I think
Just call him Ollie.
Ole, yeah,
Just call him
I think it has been a bit overrated because they did have that unbeaten run, but I just don't think they are as good of a team as people make out them to be. Obviously, you've just seen them lose to Arsenol, and then
And Wolves
really
yesterday.
bad, and Wolves yesterday. Yeah,
I think you can't underestimate what they did in Paris.
it's never happened, to be fair.
Because they beat such a good team, really. But yeah, I agree with you on that one. But still, but I think Barca have too much. I think Barca with City are the best team left in it. Barca also playing well in the competition. So I think.
How do you think Barca approaches this?
Just play the normal game, really. I think.
Yeah,
Just give it. Messi will recreate what he did in the final against Man United.
So you don't think they changed their game plan at all for maybe
No,
going away to
not
Old
against Man
Trafford?
U.
I think they need to watch out for the counter. But that's because Barca obviously do play quite open attacking football
Yeah,
kind of
quite
thing. So
possessive.
Yeah. If you're
they need
Man
to
U,
make sure
if you're Solskjaer, do you play Rashford or Lukaku or both?
Both.
both
I would
and
say.
Rashford on the wing.
So you think go attacking
think as
against
much-
Barca?
Maybe like a 5-3-2.
I'd put Rashford on the wing, and just try and because Lukaku's still quick. I'll just try and hit them on the counter, especially at the Camp Nou.
Do you think that's the only way Man U have a chance in this, on the counter?
Not
Probably.
necessarily, but I think Barca are going to have the ball all the time, pretty much. So I think they're not going to I think counter-attack is the best option.
I just don't think
Yeah.
Man U would go into this game trying to be the better team, trying to dominate, because
Yeah,
I feel like they know it won't work, and even at home they won't be very confident against Barca.
because
Yeah.
also if Man U try and play attacking, Barca can hit them so quick on the counter-attack, and that's very dangerous, especially with Messi,
Yeah.
obviously, and their attack. Literally, they can hit you in 1 second, pretty much.
Barca and
I mean,
City are
as
probably the hardest teams to play against. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think
Man
as
U
is the case for Tottenham, Chelsea and Arsenal as well. Do you think the top 4 race, how does that sit in Man U's mind? Do you think Solskjaer thinks, let's go for Champions League, get that trophy and get Champions League? Or do we play it safe? Maybe not put out a weakened team against Barca, but play more reserved.
I think they need to get top 4 because
Yeah.
it's been too long for Man United.
They were
they
second
need to,
last season.
Yeah, I mean, they need to be like a regular Champions League team, in my opinion, because, that's what
So
they are.
you think it's like
But-
unacceptable if they finish outside top 4?
Not
Maybe
really.
now with like
I
the
don't-
first half of the season they had,
I
but
don't think they can get too annoyed this year because it's the fact that they've got
Because
close
Mourinho.
now is very impressive.
Yeah.
But I think they've got the players. I think to focus on. I think at this stage every team has to be just as prepared in both competitions.
Yeah.
They showed in Paris with a weakened team. Well, not really weakened, but they've had to use very young substitutes that they can still do it. But I think they have to prioritise both just as much as each other.
Yeah, I think that Paris game will have done Man U so many favours, because I think even if they lose this, like the home leg to Barca, I think they, because of the PSG game and what happened there, they'll still go to the new camp with a bit of confidence going, we can pull something off here. And I think Barca, I don't think anyone can underestimate anyone at this stage, but I think Barca, even despite Man U not being the Man U of old under Alex Ferguson, Barca still need to go into this going, right, we need to just put these away as we would with anyone else.
yeah.
Need to try and finish this off as quick as possible.
Definitely, yeah. But I can see them putting them away in the first. It's the first leg at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
it's Old
see.
Trafford.
I can see Barca winning by like 2-0.
Yeah,
And
I know
then,
Messi has a very good record in England too.
Yeah. So I can just. I think Barca will win this one. But can't underestimate Man U.
Yeah, I mean, Messi's top scorer in the competition this season. Obviously, he's probably going to be the main man.
Yeah, he's
But
on
who is the main man for Man U? Who could win Man U this game?
I think Rashford. I think he's improved so much on that Ole, and if they do play on the counter attack, he will be the one which the team will like rely on to get the goals.
I'm going to say Scott McTominay.
Okay. So Andy Robertson, the Premier League rests on him, but the Champions League rests on Scott McTominay.
Pretty much, yeah. We all saw how good he was against PSG. He ran the game.
Okay.
I just think
James
it's
is probably just trying
gonna
to think of Scottish players in the Europa League now.
Yeah, James is going, is there any Scottish players at Barca? Or?
Well, I heard Messi has a Scottish cousin. I think Rashford and Lukaku, if he plays, because I just think they're going to have to be very good. Like they're going to be probably whoever's up front is going to probably be isolated. Because sometimes they just need to play with pace and hold the ball. And
I know Man U's defence was very questionable at the start of the season, and it has improved a bit under Solskjaer. But do you think, I'm guessing it's going to be like Shaw, Lindelof, Smalling, and then I don't know, Ashley Young at right back? Do you think? Because that's still a weak defence.
Yeah.
Do you think that can handle that Barca front line?
No.
I don't think it's a Champions League winning defence. It's far from that.
I think they should drop Chris Smalling and put Scott McTominay at centre back because he's the only one that can stop Messi.
Right, welcome to the Scott McTominay podcast, everyone.
If you're listening, Scott, love you.
I'll email them after.
Nah.
Right.
But I don't think that defence is nearly good enough, especially if Barca find their form up front.
I think
So
Luke
it's
Shaw has
obviously...
been.
you go on.
I think Luke Shaw has been really good, obviously, in the last few games, and then Dalla at right back as well. But
Luke Shaw was really poor last night. I don't know if you watched last
didn't watch it, no.
He was really poor.
Yeah, he was.
I think all the centre backs are really average.
Yeah, they need to get some better centre backs in there.
Lindelof is probably the best one, and that'd say something.
Yeah.
Right, then you both made it clear you think Barca's going to win, but do you think they win it close, or is it going to be like a close tie, or do they absolutely murder Man U?
Depends
on the comment.
Yeah, depends.
Yeah, same.
Depends on if Scotty starts or not. But Barca winning this one easily. Yeah. I think this one will be.
I think 4-1 Barca on that grade.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1 on aggregate. 2-0 first, like 1-1 second.
Going 2-1
So
and 2-0.
You think that they draw at the Nou Camp?
Yeah, because Barca will already be up 2-0, so I think Man U will have to go and do something.
Yeah, but PSG will 2-0.
That's
from
PSG
the home
though.
in this one.
Yeah,
PSG. I know it's PSG and they do have that reputation, but what's to say Man U can't do that again? If Barca just sit back and go, we're through anyway.
Because Barca are class.
I think they're much more professional than PSG. Yeah.
Yeah, plus Barca I think will know how to just run out of games so easily.
Into the semi-finals, Pav, we'll start with you. You will have Man City versus Juventus. That will be one hell of a tie.
Yeah. Haven't they played each other a few years ago? Or was that?
I can't remember.
It was Spurs and Juventus, no. It was Spurs and Juventus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was last year. I remember that.
I think this will be also really close. Obviously, you have Aguero playing against Man City. Sorry, you have Ronaldo playing against Man City.
Yeah.
Which will obviously be big for him, considering he is a Man U legend, and for him to knock Man City out,
and Pep.
It will be big. Yeah, and Pep as well.
Yeah.
But then again, I do think City as a team is better than Juventus. They do have a better coach.
So, who do you think wins this?
City.
Thanks.
I'm not asking you. You've got a different tie to this.
I think
so.
Manchester City will go through. It will be very tight, but I think they will end up going through. Yeah. Might even be just in the way goals.
Might as well get a score prediction as well.
I think it'll be 3-3 on aggregate, but City will go through on away goals. Yeah.
Okay, James, you will have Man City versus Ajax, the surprise of the tournament. Do Ajax pull off another miracle?
No.
And make the final?
No.
Or does City walk through?
They don't walk through, but I think City will win comfortably enough. I think they're just too good, and Ajax, if they do actually beat Juventus, I don't think it'll be hard for them to keep going at that same level, because even though they've got impressive players, obviously, if they made it to the semi-final, it's pretty much kind of overachieving, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it'll be hard to pull it out again, and I just think Man City are too strong. I think Man City would beat, and if Juventus are through, I think Man City would win that one as well.
If Ajax were to make the final, how would they do it against this Man City team?
Real one.
Target me.
Shake hands.
Well, I think they would just have to kind of believe in their football, and teams like Leon did it at the Etihad in the group stage, didn't they? They'd have to win a game like that, I think, and then just make sure they keep at home if they can do what they did. I don't know, to be honest. I don't think they'd be able to do it, but I think just playing the way that they have been playing, and just if they can keep City out, then who knows? But
because I think Ajax, if this was just one game, I think they could definitely do it. Maybe one game, beat City on the day, but over 2 legs, I can't see them doing it.
No.
So, score prediction there across 2 legs.
3-1.
Right. So you both have City making the final.
Yeah.
And in the other semi-final, you both have a Liverpool versus Barcelona semi-final.
Oh.
How does that go? Because that will be, in my opinion, a very close game.
It will be. I think Liverpool's only hope is that
Shut up.
that Messi might
It's
find
literally
him.
the opposite to what Liverpool play. Liverpool play like the best attacking football.
I think Liverpool's only hope is if Robertson has a certain Argentinian in his pocket.
Oh my god.
That's outside laughing.
But no, I think Barca will win this one. I think they're just better.
20 minut.
Za 20 minut. Przecież ty masz na
Yeah,
trzecią.
Sprawdźcie wcześniej.
No,
I
So do you
think
think?
Messi will
So do you
run the
think?
game.
no ale ja
Obviously,
zrobiłam tak, że
obviously on one
jeśli
wing you're
masz
gonna
na
have
trzecią,
Robertson
to
playing
na
against
trzecią
Messi,
dawać.
and on the other wing you're
Okay.
gonna have Alexander-Arnold against who plays left wing for
Probably
Barca now? 'Cause they
Coutinho.
rotate so
Yeah,
much.
Coutinho,
Coutinho
Dembele.
normally plays. Coutinho's normally playing left wing, yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
So I think
I'd never even thought about that. This
yeah.
could be
Oh,
Coutinho
Coutinho,
going back
yeah.
to Anfield.
yeah,
That's an
he's shit on
interesting
them.
storyline.
He will score at Anfield.
That'd be like an iconic Coutinho goal outside the box. Top right
Free
corner.
kick.
And Messi's on free kicks, mate.
But I think if they get a free kick 90th minute at Anfield and Coutinho's still on the pitch, I think he has to take it.
I don't think he will, like.
Yeah, but then
Sorry, Joe.
I think he'd ask. I don't think they would let
Yeah,
him.
probably.
Chance Messi would probably let him anyway.
Yeah, Messi's a nice guy.
Depends
He
on the
probably would.
depends on the position
That
of the
month.
goal, like where it is.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't want to say I don't rate Coutinho, but he's not worth the
He's
price that Barcelona.
Overrated, I think.
He's not been very good for Barcelona.
I think he has
He's-
potential, but
because watching most
Who
of
do you think has a better chance of succeeding at Barca, Coutinho or Malcolm?
well, probably no,
neither.
Because they both play left wing, so
probably Coutinho, but he just needs to kind of find his form because he's not the main man, obviously. So he needs to be able to
yeah.
believe in himself and still do his thing.
I don't think Michael chose the right option when he went to Barca over Roma.
Yeah, but then
Like
most
with
people are going to
best
choose
Barca.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Personally thought Ryan Fraser would have been a better option, but
Oh, you know, now I'm going to do a podcast with you in the future where you
So
can just
Scottish
get it all out
players.
your system and just talk about Scottish players for like 2 hours.
yeah, I'd probably start crying.
We'll just go through the whole national team.
Kieran
And then
Tierney.
I'd realise half the players we have are so bad.
We'll have Flowers of Scotland and Sunshine on Leaf and all that in the background. playing.
Can we do a
Drinking
special?
Buckfast.
Can we do a Stephen Fletcher special?
No, he's a Magnum.
Darren Fletcher.
No, he plays for Man U.
Um,
We'll try and get Matt Ritchie on and see what happens.
yeah.
McNair.
Right. Who ultimately
He's not
who wins
Scottish.
this?
He is.
Wait, who
Oh, no,
did
he's
you
Irish.
say?
Paddy McNair.
He's more than Irish.
Paddy
Happy
McNair.
to say Paddy Day to everyone watching. William. Kelly.
People have probably turned up by now after listening to me.
Right, Barcelona, Liverpool. Who wins over 2 legs? I think this. If what you said happens, this will be the close after 2 semi-finals for sure.
Probably, yeah, I think so. I think Barca are the better team, but I think Liverpool could live up to the occasion again, like they did against City last year in the semi-final. Could be very close. I'm backing Barca, but not by much.
Yeah, I think
I'd agree.
Barca is going to win, but I think Barca is going to go through, but I do think this Liverpool team can do anything, even like win the competition.
I think
Yeah.
they could definitely.
So I wouldn't.
I think Liverpool could definitely win.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty even on who's going to win. I just want Barca, so I'm going to say Barca.
I think Barca make it. I think we're destined for a Pep going back to Barca final.
yeah.
But
I think it just the sort of headline writes itself.
But I think
On the
we
last
could easily
Bible.
have an all-English final, which could be interesting. Although I want Barca to win, I think it'd be cool to have an all-English final. Like the
Yeah.
Europa League as well, possibly. It'd be quite cool.
So,
Just be like another game of fun.
assuming your predictions happen, we have a Man City Barca final. That will
Yeah.
be one hell of a final. I
Watch out,
I
attention.
honestly can't think how these teams get split. This could literally go either way. I guess it's just which team is better on the day, in my opinion.
I think Barca win on experience in the final because Man City.
I think there's going to be
Haven't
so
done it,
much
so-
pressure on Man City in that
Yeah.
game
It
if
could
that
ruin-
happens. I
Both
think,
teams
I
play
agree with you. I think the
similar
pressure could get the City.
But then
Both teams
again,
play.
who knows?
Both teams play like.
You go.
Both teams like play
Yeah,
such
but,
similar football as well. Of Guardiola being their coach at Barca
Yeah.
a few years ago, then he's now at City, so it will be really, really close. Yeah.
And I think the pressure even got the City last year in the quarterfinals against Liverpool. So when they reach the final, if they reach the final,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Pep's good enough to maybe handle that. I just sort of think players like, I don't want to say Aguero, I think he'll be fine. I think it's the players like Sterling and Sane and these younger players who,
Very nice.
I don't know, could the occasion get to them?
Yeah.
Whereas I think, like James said, Barca's been here so many times. They have players who've been to finals in multiple competitions. They probably are more battle-hardened for this.
Barca haven't won the Champions League for a while, and with Real Madrid doing it like the hat trick, they really need to win it soon.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't say they need to, but
Well, they don't need to.
They'd
But
like
I
to.
think if fans were really, with what Real Madrid have done recently as well.
do you think if Barca
sometime
win this, they've tried to go for the 3 in a row, like Madrid did?
well, will always be there, up there. Yeah, I think. I don't.
I
Think
mean,
they'll
obviously
do
they
it,
try, but do you think that's achievable?
it's achievable. But no, I don't think they would. I think there's too many good teams in it now.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I think we're sort of seeing a power shift in the Premier League as well. The Premier
Yeah,
League's just sort of, for once, overcoming these teams.
Yeah, especially pretty much all the English teams. Beat some very good opposition as well. Tottenham put away Dortmund, who are very
quite
good.
easily as well.
Yeah, Man U did what they did against Paris. City probably, you could argue, had the easier game, but
Still, like, battering a team.
yeah,
Was it 10-1, I agree?
yeah, that's still very
In the Champions
impressive to
League,
beat
yeah.
a team 7-0 in the Champions League last 16.
It
And
was
then,
joint
obviously-
record, I think,
Yeah,
for
and
knockout
then,
score.
and then Liverpool were very impressive against Bayern Munich to put them away at the Allianz Arena. So,
Yeah, which isn't easy at all.
oh no, especially no.
Especially with
Bayern
Lewandowski
Munich
up top
were
for
very
Bayern, yeah.
good.
Yeah,
he's just
James
yeah.
Rodriguez in midfield. So on.
Yeah, but luckily for Liverpool, Robertson had Lewandowski in his pocket, so
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah. So
He did
they
score, like,
definitely-
but, you know,
The what?
he did get a touch on that match at the back. I seen it.
But yeah, I don't think any of the British teams can be underestimated.
Yeah. I
At
think,
all.
yeah,
And
it's pretty
definitely future
self-explanatory.
years with more experience in these stages of the competition will only help these teams.
Yeah. I mean, I think if looking at the teams left, if I could choose a final, I would probably choose Man City Barca as well. As much as I'd be
Yeah.
backing Ajax, I think this would be such a good final to watch. It has potential to be a shootout. You know, maybe like
Yeah.
a 4-3 or 4-2,
Haven't
sort
seen
of that
them
sort of
in a while.
scoreline. And now I've said that, if it happens, it'll definitely be 0-0 and go to pens. But
Yeah, thanks, Stu.
yeah, I just think for the two style-wise, they probably have the two best football sort of styles to watch at the minute. I mean, Liverpool play nice football, but like they're sort of shown in the Merseyside derby and against Man U, they can be a bit defensive if they're sort of scared of losing. Whereas
Even
I
when you
think
see, like,
yeah,
even when you see City winning, like, 1-0, it's still such an interesting game. Like,
they keep
against
they keep on-
Bournemouth that time when
They
they were
want to score
absolutely
more.
all over them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the main difference between City and Liverpool. I think Liverpool will just be happy to get a result, whereas Pep always wants to win in style.
Yeah.
He wants to make sure the job's done rather than grind it out. But he has the
yeah.
players to do that, whereas do Liverpool at the minute have the players to do that?
Maybe not yet, but give it a year or two and I don't think they will be like considered as the best team in England.
Do you think they can win the league in the next few years?
Definitely,
I
yeah.
think so, yeah. They
They
improve.
could even do it this year.
If they improve, I think if they get another top centre back,
Quite handy.
yeah, if Charlie Mulgrew comes in, then that sort of thing. Then no, I think the Premier League's going to get much more close in the next few years, and much more teams going for it. I think
Yeah.
Tottenham, Man U, and that will also start kind of
Arsenal's on the
asking
as well.
questions, and Arsenal could, but they always seem to fade out.
Right then.
But yeah,
To finish off, score prediction for the final, assuming it's Man City Barcelona.
I think one goal in it. Could easily. I think it's impossible to go. I think Barcelona might.
Stick your neck
4-3
out. Who's
Barca.
going to win?
I'm 55% Barca, 45 City.
So 1-0
So I
Barca.
think, literally, yeah. It'll be very close. Well, depends on the day. Barca could easily win like 3-1 or something, but so could City. It just all depends on the day.
Yeah. Right, so you've got Chelsea winning the Europa League and Barca winning the Premier League. Not the Premier League,
No.
the Champions League. So, I mean, I guess...
I've Arsenal.
I had Arsenal. I had Chelsea.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Wait, no, I had Arsenal as well.
Yeah.
Wait, did you
Yeah.
both have Arsenal?
Yeah.
What the hell? Right,
Yeah.
so if that happens, I guess we'll finish off by asking, assuming the Super Cup is Arsenal-Barca, who wins that? And what's the
Barca.
score?
Barca will absolutely thrash them.
Yeah.
Okay, right then.
To be fair, you always, like, since Atletico Chelsea, when they were in the Super Cup, I think every single year was a Champions League team that won it.
I don't
That
think
won the
they'll-
Super Cup.
To be honest, the Super Cup could go either way. I don't think they really care that much about it.
It's always just
I
a
mean,
nice
for the
like start of the
trophies,
season,
they'll have-
winning something, yeah.
Yeah. I don't
It's like a
even
better
remember
version of the Community Shield.
Don't remember the last time I even watched it.
I was
I'll
watching.
watch this, yeah.
I don't care.
Atletico Real.
Yeah.
I mean, oh shit, no,
I
man,
prefer
sorry.
to watch like.
That's the
Newcastle
info.
Wait, yeah.
pre-season.
Pav, you said the Europa League team hasn't won it since then, but Atletico won it this year.
Oh, fuck that happened.
Oh, wow. Lack of research for it.
Shocking.
Wow.
I invite him on. Politely.
And he doesn't. He turns it down last night, and then he doesn't even.
You know what? Marty Buchan's been dying to get on this.
Well, get him on the
You walk on here. You know
get him
what,
on the
next-
Reading one.
For the Premier League podcast, Marty Buchan's going to come on.
Yeah.
Right then. Cheers for coming on, lads.
Yeah.
It's been a
Nice
pleasure
one.
talking to you.
Pleasure to be
good.
here. Thank you for having me back on.
Probably gonna be late for
No
work.
bother. Okay. I guess we'll just sign off then by saying up the Wenger. See you later.
After Wenger.
Enjoy
Up to
the
Royals.
game. Enjoy the game.